Paying Bills with Laura Biddulph from the Center for EcoTechnology. Thank you so much for stopping by. What does MassSave actually do? We talk about it all the time, but it's a great organization that can help almost everyone out there, right?
Yeah. It's a statewide program. It's set up by the legislature of Massachusetts. Anybody can participate in it. It helps residents and also businesses to reduce their energy consumption and thereby reduce the amount of money they need to spend on their utilities. They do things like insulation. They do air sealing to stop drafts and leaks. They go around and test combustion appliances to make sure that you're safe from a carbon monoxide standpoint. They provide a whole lot of really awesome compact fluorescent energy efficient lighting to help bring down your electric bill.
So now you say they provide. Does that mean they'll come to your house or place of business, and now what will they do? Will they give you a bunch of great things that'll help you save money, or will they say, here's some places where you can buy all these great things, look at them?
No, they actually provide them. You're able to get a no-cost home energy assessment, and at the assessment, they bring the supply of light bulbs. They also have flow-reducing shower heads that don't make your shower less fun, but yeah, still a great shower, but it'll reduce the amount of money that you're spending on water and also on heating your water. They have programmable thermostats that they provide at no charge. So there's a lot of great things that are completely free through the program, as well as air sealing. This is expandable spray foam that's used to seal up chases and airways in your house to help reduce the amount of vertical heat loss that you're suffering from.
Because no matter what time of year it is, I mean, in the wintertime you lose a lot of heat. In the summer you might lose the cool that you're pumping in with your air conditioning unit.
Or bringing more heat in from the outside. This is about year-round comfort. And when we're talking about single-digit temperatures outside and heat waves that get into the 90s and low 100s, this is something everybody can get on board with.
Why wouldn't everyone do this? I don't get it. It seems like a great program.
It's a funny thing. For some reason, sometimes people, they know about it, they know they want to do it, and they just can't quite get there. And my answer to that is call me. I will help you get set up. That's
you heard
my
it here,
job.
folks. Laura's going to call, and you can call Laura. She'll help you out. Now, let's do a little preview, because Laura's coming back in a little bit with more tips. But we're going to use this, and this is what one of the home assessors uses.
Yes.
What is it?
This is an infrared camera, and they can use this to scan a house to look for signs of a lack of insulation or extreme heat loss. So it actually sees on the infrared spectrum, it sees heat.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so when we come back a little bit later, we have more tips, and we're going to use this infrared thing. I don't know what it is yet, but I will learn. And welcome back to Mass Appeal, and we are back with Laura Biddulph from the Center for EcoTechnology, and she's teaching us how to use this fun new trick. Laura, thanks so much for sticking around. Now, tell people what we were just looking at.
Well, this is an infrared camera, and so it actually scans to see heat that's being given off by your subject. So if you scan a house, you actually see where the heat loss is occurring. And so a home energy specialist has this as part of the equipment that they use in order to determine how your house is doing from an energy efficiency perspective in MassSave.
Now, right now we're looking at me. I'm about 96 degrees. Is that what you're saying?
It depends on what part of your face I pointed at. 96.8, 97.1. You're bouncing around a little.
And with people, it's where there's more blood flow. So I assume if you were pointed to around my heart area, it would probably be a little bit warmer?
Oh, yes,
let's hope so.
Most definitely. You're
91, 90. This is not good. Well, let's tell people how it kind of correlates to their home. Right here we have a piece of insulation.
Yes, we do.
And when we're shooting this, what we're going to see is the more red is the more heat that's escaping. Is that correct?
Yes, and at the moment, there's actually no heat really to speak of passing through there. We've got a little bit of green showing up on the screen, so it's not quite completely blue, but you can show the profile. That's a very thick piece of insulation. So if you turn your hand sideways for everybody, it's a really thick piece of insulation, and now you can see his hand at the back of it. It's called polyisoisannurate, and it's 2 inches thick. It has a very high R value for that thickness of insulation. I think it's around an R20, if I remember correctly.
So this is kind of the Cadillac, maybe, of insulation. It's going to really help you. Now, is this necessarily this next one? Is it a downgrade, or is it just a different kind of insulation?
It's a totally different product. This is called Reflectex. And Reflectex is like a foil-faced bubble wrap, and it works a lot like the piece of polyiso does because it has a reflective factor, just like the polyiso with the foil coating on it. But what will happen is after you've had that in your hand, is the back of your hand cupping it by chance? Because you really want contact.
Oh, we want contact. All right,
yeah,
here's
you
some
want contact with your palm. And so we can already see it changing from blue. It's getting a little greener. If you pull away the top sheet, And we see it get greener still. So this is more of Seth's body heat transferring through the foil face.
And what this does is it shows the importance of good insulation, because
does.
if this were your home, it would be the heat maybe from your fireplace or your heater just undulating out to your house.
And it's interesting because you can see your fingers as they wrap around the board, and they're showing off all of their heat, of course.
Yeah.
And then the insulation piece is preventing the rest from coming through. So yes, they can actually look at your house with this camera, and when they do, they can see where the heat loss is occurring. It'll be really, really red around your windows, but they can also see things like the studs of your house. The wooden studs will transmit heat at a different rate than insulated areas. So it helps them determine what kind of insulative value you have in your home. But they also do things really simple, like they'll use this is actually a toothpick, but they'll use like a bamboo skewer, and they will probe your insulation to try to figure out how thick it is, what type it is. Sometimes there are different layers, and they might actually be comprised of different material from the top layer down to the bottom. They can do things like remove outlet sockets, and very carefully they poke around behind, and they can feel things like whether or not you've got a 2-inch piece of fiberglass bat in there or a 4-inch piece of fiberglass bat.
And so once again, this is a free service, and they'll even bring things like light bulbs and shower heads and really help you make your home better, because you're saving the environment and you're helping to save yourself a few bucks on your heating bill too.
Absolutely.
Well, Laura, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much. Thanks for
Seth.
taking my temperature too. I can skip my next trip to the doctor.